Right here is the 2020 Mini Cooper two-door hardtop, and it is just about the most fun you can have with 134 horsepower on four wheels. It's lightweight, it's practical, and it's affordable. In this configuration right here, known as the Oxford Edition, it costs only $20,000, but unfortunately it's only available to college students, recent graduates, and military. But just because that $5,000 discount isn't available to everyone doesn't mean you shouldn't seriously consider this car whether you're eligible for the discount or not. It's a classic Mini design with chili red paint, white roof and mirror caps, and 18-inch wheels. It's not often you can find a two-door hatchback anymore, and this car really fits the bill for those looking for that. Now, it is a little bit pricey considering the competition and what you can get for the $20,000 to $25,000 price range, but the engine is stout and efficient, the materials are incredibly high quality, and you just can't get as much fun driving experience in many packages as you can with this Mini. I'm Charlie with Daily Motor, and I'm going to show you what it's like to live with the Mini Cooper Oxford Edition. Let's go take a look. And like I said before, this is really a classic Mini look. This red paint, the white roof and accents, just the two-door configuration. While other Minis like the Clubman and the Countryman are continuing to get larger and kind of take away from that Mini name, this is pretty much the most pure example you can get. And just because it's small doesn't mean that they made it inefficient. They did a lot, they being Mini, did a lot of stuff to make the car as practical as possible. Taking a look down here in the trunk, it's very deep, so you could get a good amount of groceries in here. You could still get a thing of toilet paper or say 2 carry-on type suitcases in for a weekend trip with people. Got this little privacy thing here. The seats fold very easily. You can see these headrests come up into a upright position for passengers, or you press that, flip them out, or you can take them out entirely, but that requires a little bit of finagling, putting the seat forward, etc. Which the headrest down, the seats do fold easily, 60-40 split configuration. Now there's just enough room in the back for a 5'10" adult to sit behind another 5'10" adult. So I've got the driver's seat set here for myself, 5'10". No flex. Actually did that wrong here. Reach back here, pull that back, throw that seat back up. Ugh. It's a little bit of a maneuver, but I can bring that back here. And voila, seat's back in my set driving position. And what they did is, you can see here, the sun might be making this a little tough on the video, but this is soft. And so you can compress it really far, probably about 3 or 4 inches, whereas the outsides are hard. So when the seat comes back, my knees actually go in to the front seat back a little bit, but it allows me to sit here in relative comfort. I probably wouldn't want to be here for more than about half an hour, but I could sit back here for a short drive. There's enough foot room even with this seat all the way down, but I know if I were to raise the seat up a little bit, I would have even more room for my feet down there. And the seat backs are at a bit of a steep incline, so I'm not particularly comfortable, but I could be back here for, I'd say about half an hour before I'd start to whine and moan. You do have panoramic sunroofs here, one in the back, one in the front, a little bit of support here in the middle. Those pull back manually, nice and easy. Although it's just a mesh covering. It's not a full soundproof or weatherproof or fully lightproof covering. So that's a bit frustrating, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Got 3 cup holders back here, so that's kind of cool. 1, 2, and 3. And the seat belts can get tucked into that little part right there so they don't rattle. So little attentions to detail like that are what kind of start to add up and justify the higher price point over some competitors. All right. So turn the car around here for you so you can see the interior a little bit better. And it's a really cool and fun design. Starting here around the steering wheel, you've got this gauge cluster that actually moves with the steering wheel up and down, so you can always have a good view of the gauges. The wheel does telescope as well. You've got nice accents, nice materials, metal, no cheap and hard plastics anywhere. Cool design up there, a little bit of texture to it. You've got this big center display here, which, let me start it up so it's at least on so you can see what it's like. It's not a touchscreen, so everything is controlled through the center rotator dial here. You've got some buttons for quick commands. You can scroll through. You got phone, notifications, different settings, things like that. You've got this, what they call the center instrument, which is this LED ring going around. It actually doesn't go all the way. It goes about maybe 135 degrees or so. And you can change that to various colors. Kind of looks cool. Or you can have it do nothing if you don't care for it. Or you can have it work as a tachometer and track engine speed. So you'll see when we're driving, the RPMs will track an LED light going right up here to redline. You've got automatic dual zone climate control, heated seats, automatic stop start. Over here, everything just looks good, feels quality. Again, you got your panoramic sunroof here. No ambient lighting in this car other than this center ring display. Glove box. Decent amount of room in there. 2 cup holders here. You've got this center armrest that opens up for a little bit of storage. It's actually got a grippy insert, which is nice. Things don't slide around and make as much noise. This is soft, so that's welcome. And this whole thing moves up and out of the way so you have room for your parking brake and your manual transmission. The gearbox is smooth, and it's got a good notch to it. So each gear goes in confidently. It's not quite Honda crisp, but it's actually really quite good. And the clutch pedal has a decent throw. It's not 100% linear, but it's got a good amount of weight for it, especially considering the engine size. Which, speaking of that, before we go for a drive, let's hop out and take a little look at the little engine. This is kind of cool. The hood actually goes around the headlights. So you'll see as I lift it up, those holes open up and the lights stay there. That's kind of fun. There's not too much to see with this plastic covering, but it's only a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder engine. So you can actually pop this off just like that. And there you have it. That's all the power for this little car. Little tiny 3 cylinders. It makes 134 horsepower, but more importantly, 162 pound-feet of torque. So you're motivating this car. It's got a lot of power and pep for city driving, for get up and go, off stoplights, short, hard pulls. Once you get over 50, definitely over about 70 miles per hour, yes, the car runs out of steam, but at that point, you've already had your fun, you've shifted through a few gears, and you've gotten up to the speed limit, so you really don't need to be going much faster for much longer. All right, let's go for a drive. Didn't close the hood all the way. That is annoying. Mini, what the hell? Turns out we just really had to slam on the hood a few times to get it to firmly latch into place. I think we'll take a stop here before too long and see if we can replicate the issue, but just didn't want to be too rough on the car in this situation. You saw I was kind of pushing on it multiple times, but it just really needed a big slam to get it to latch properly, and that's fine. So, see, nothing wrong with the Mini. Just user error. So now we can really talk about the merits of this car. It's no secret to enthusiasts and many car drivers alike that driving a small, lightweight car really allows the day-to-day type of driving to be more enjoyable. Not just the back roads, high speed, track driving, anything like that, but even just putzing around town, getting through traffic. When you're in a light, small car, it's more enjoyable. You don't need to use that much power to just kind of zip around people, get going. Your car feels fun, it feels fast, it feels light, it feels enjoyable, it feels like a connection of your body. This little mini two-door is one of the best examples of a lightweight, fun car that I've had in a long, long time. With cars like the Fiesta ST and even just normal Fiesta no longer being sold, the Chevy Sonic doesn't have long to live, the Fiat 500 is gone, the Smart Car is gone, the two-door Mini is really one of the only small, lightweight, front-wheel drive cars that exists anymore. And yes, it's not going to be as practical as a Civic or a Golf, but it's going to be more fun just on the inherent basis of it being small, light, and peppy. Now, I know you numbers warriors are going to look at the horsepower figure, 134, and go, oh, that's way too low. I need much more than that. You really don't, though, because driving around in this car, you can pull away from a stop sign or pull out into traffic and give it full throttle and shift through first gear, second gear, third gear. Really enjoy listening to that engine rev all the way up, come back down, rev all the way back up again. And you feel that low-end grunt, that 162 pound-feet of torque, and it allows you to enjoy the driving experience in a fun and legal way. You get into some high horsepower Focus RS or Civic Type R, you're spinning the tires, you're up to super legal speeds very quickly. This car, downshift into second, sharp little 90-degree corner, back on the power, I'm full throttle right now, and there's the speed limit. That's with 134 horsepower, guys. You don't need all that much power to have fun. And I've been hooning this car for a week now, having a great time driving it around, and I am averaging, if we go down to driving information, and this is with some idling as well, sitting and idling, taking photos, 32 miles per gallon. Before I was shooting photos with the car, I was getting about 35 miles to the gallon. So you can have a lot of fun, you can be rough on the car, you can enjoy it to its fullest, and still get good fuel economy with a little engine like this. Another thing this Mini features is rev matching, and that's something that you don't see in cars of this price virtually ever. So what that means, it's a full manual transmission. I'm driving around in 5th gear right now, and the revs are about 1800. If I downshift into 4th, it automatically pulls the revs up exactly to match the speed, so that when I let the clutch back out in 4th gear, it's a smooth clutch transition, and there's no jolting, jostling, the engine's exactly the right RPM it should be. If I want to go from 4th, say, down to 2nd to get a lot of power, or to come up to a corner or something, 4th, 2nd, the revs come way up, and it's very smooth. It's a really fun car to drive, guys. It really is. This car also has automatic start-stop, which a lot of people don't like, but I do. So you can see right there we get an LED flash on the center instrument letting me know the engine's off in ready mode, and the tachometer is down at the bottom in ready, and the car is silent. Saving fuel, peaceful. As soon as I press in the clutch, engine fires back up to life. Now admittedly, the engine start is not as smooth as it is in a lot of other cars, and that's likely due to the 3-cylinder motor. I just don't think it's inherently that smooth on startup. But I still like using stop start, but if you don't like it, you can come right down here to this switch, click, boop, off, and that maintains through start and stop. So even after you shut off the car, leave, come back the next day, get in, that will still be disabled. A lot of people really appreciate that. Another thing that Minis and other cars from parent company BMW have alike is what's called dynamic traction control. With normal traction control all the way on, anytime the car senses wheel slip, it's going to disable power, make it so that you stop slipping. Dynamic traction control is a happy medium between all the way on and all the way off that allows some wheel slip, allows you to have some fun, maybe get out of a sticky situation or get into a sticky situation, but without getting too dicey and just completely eliminating all the assistance of full traction control. And I really appreciate that for having fun, but still being safe. Right there, coming through that corner, I got a little bit of wheel slip as I got back on the throttle, but just enough to properly apply power and pull out of the corner. The largest fault to the driving experience of the Mini is probably the ride quality. It's firm, but not too firm. The bumps aren't super rough and coming through the cabin. The problem is, because of the short wheelbase, bumps get transferred into the cabin and into the driver's position more than they would with a longer wheelbase car. There's really not too much you can do, but I assume that an S or JCW Mini would be even worse. In fact, I know for sure that a JCW Mini would be worse. But you also get active dampers in some of those cars, so they can be softer in normal settings and then firmer in sport settings. But I've been driving this around for a while, and as long as you don't mind some of the kind of heave ups and downs without the damping, then it's not a harsh ride, it's not jostling, but it's definitely something you got to be ready for, but you should also be expecting in a car of this size. Alright, I'm just going to drive for a bit here and let you guys hear what it sounds like to drive the Mini Cooper 2-door hardtop Oxford Edition. The other notable complaint about the Mini's driving experience would be the steering feel. It's not as devoid of feel as some newer BMWs, but compared to other lightweight cars, even just standard economy sort of cars, the steering's pretty numb. Off-center, there's just kind of a woolly void of nothingness, where you can kind of turn it and just leave. The steering wheel doesn't really come back to center or do much. And then as you turn further from that, it just goes, and it doesn't really feel like it's directly connected to the wheels. So that would be nice if there were a bit more steering feel, especially with a small lightweight car like this. I mean, you really probably don't even need power steering over a certain speed, so it'd be nice if there were just a little bit more of a direct feel from the steering. Other than that, though, this Mini is a joy to drive at city speeds, it's a joy to drive at back road speeds. It's fine on the highway, road noise isn't too bad, especially considering the price, $20,600 if you get that student discount. If not, you're up around $27,000. Still really not bad considering the packaging and kind of the quality materials, quality engineering, and the fun factor that you're getting for the money. When you consider everything else available for this price, is it the best bang for your buck if you just want a small economical car? No, I'm not going to tell you that it is. There are plenty of cars with more boring interiors, cheaper feeling interiors, less driving enjoyment that you can get for less money. Or even like the Sentra that I drove recently, that is a very fine quality feel inside, surprisingly good suspension. It's not as fun and peppy as this, especially with this having a manual transmission, and it's not as quirky and unique looking as this. But if you purely just wanted a good, economical, basic transportation practical car for the money, yes, the Sentra is going to be a better bet than this. This has one less seat in the back, it's got less room all around, it's going to be a little bit more expensive to maintain, especially if you plan on owning it for a long time. But all of that considered, if you care more about your driving experience and you want to have a car that's fun to look at, fun to drive, people are going to talk about, you're going to enjoy owning for a while, this Mini 2-door hardtop Oxford edition might just be your way to go. I've got to say, I've really fallen in love with this car. Driving it for a week, spending time with it, getting groceries, just experiencing day-to-day driving, and then also coming out here, a beautiful February day, and getting to do some fun backroads driving with it. It's really a compelling package, and it's definitely one that people should consider, and I absolutely love. All right, let's get out and take one last look at the Mini here. All in all, as I said, I've really fallen in love with this car in a way that I kind of expected to, but also in ways that surprised me a little bit. I didn't expect to genuinely want to recommend this car. Oftentimes Minis are like, yeah, they're cool when you can drive them for a little while and don't have to worry about actual living with them. But I genuinely think I could see myself purchasing this car and having it as a vehicle that's fun, economical, practical, and elicits an emotional response from a day-to-day experience and just day-to-day use and ownership that a lot of other vehicles won't. Consumables won't be quite as expensive as a lot of other German cars just because they're small and it's lightweight. Brakes will be cheaper. Oil changes will be quick and easy with the small engine. So I've definitely loved spending time with the Mini Cooper Hardtop 2-door. This is, as I said, the Oxford edition that is $5,250 cheaper if you are a college student, recent grad, or military. And I would highly recommend checking one out. Thanks as always for watching. Please be sure to subscribe and like the video if you liked it. And we'll see you on the next one. Drive on.